Okay, today we're going to do a print and cut. This is what I'm making. They're little logos I put on the back of my cards. I'm going to do it on clear label paper, transfer paper, so that I can stick it on any colour card I want. Now, so going to Cricut Design Space, the first thing I need to do is upload the image. I have it on my desktop. There it is, there. This is going to be fairly simple, so I'm just going for simple. Now I'm just going to make this a bit smaller so I can see it, because I saved it on a large size paper. I'm just going to crop it so I can see it quite well. Now there's not much I need to do this, but just off the side, oops, don't do that, don't click. Just off the side there is a bit of a shadow that I want to remove, so I'm just going to take that and it's just removed the shadow. Other than that, we look pretty good. I want to save it as a print and cut. This may take it's obviously a detailed drawing, of image I should say. So I'm going to upload that, insert that image. Okay, to this I want to add some text. By the way, if you've got multiple machines, this will not work if you've got it set for the Joy. I've tried that, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to use Jelly Bean, single line font Jelly Bean, and I'm going to do it in bold. And I'm just going to type from my, oops, too many spaces there, from my heart and hands, just something I've always put on my card. I'm going to change that to a draw. I'm going to change it to blueberry. I don't like to. Whoops, did I just pass it? Blueberry. That's the colour I want. Okay, that's got to be made a bit smaller. This isn't the size it's going to end up. This is just me preparing it at this stage. It's easier to prepare it if it's a bit bigger. Okay, I'm going to highlight both of those and I'm going to align horizontally. That looks pretty good, but I may just bring it down just a fraction. Okay. Now, I want to do my name. Last lot I did with a different font, but this time I'm going to use the same font. Again, I'm going to change it to a draw, change it to blueberry. Oops, gone there, blueberry. Make it a bit smaller and sit it just about there. It is bold. I need that to be roughly the same size to look the same. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want. I'm going to highlight it all and I'm going to flatten. So it's now all one piece, and you notice that up here it's changed to print and cut. I could cut it like that. It would cut around all those fronds and look perfectly good. I don't want to do that, so what I'm going to do is create, first of all I'll make that white, and I'll send it to the back, unlock it, oops, lock it, yeah, and just make an oval. On an oval that's going to just cover it all. Don't think I've quite got it there, but let me align horizontally. No, I'm going to need to make that oval just a smidgen bigger. Let me try that. Align horizontally. I still have just a little bit coming out here, but I think I'll leave it at that. It will cut around that, so it'll cut around the oval and just do that little loop around there, but I'm happy with that. Okay, highlight it all and flatten it again. It's now a print and cut. So now the only thing that I need to do now is unlock the size, make it 5 centimeters by 3 centimeters. There we go. That's the size I want. Now, clearly I could just cut one, and if I went to make it, it would just have one up in the box. I'm going to do a whole sheet, so let's just cancel that. I think I'll fit about 3 wide, so I'm just going to do 3 and have a look. I can see that I'm not going to fit a 4th width-wise, remembering that print and cut is limited to what it can do. So now I'm just highlighting the 3 of them. I'm going to duplicate that. I think I'll get 5 rows in, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now just have a quick look, make sure they all fit on one page. No, you know what, I'm going to get maybe 2 more. One, 2. They don't have to be laid out in any particular order on your page, on your canvas, but when it comes into here it will lay them out. Oh, I can do 2 more. And that will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So just cancel that and go back. I could have made a square the right size on here and laid them all out, but it's just 2 more, I think I decided. But just, I find it just as easy to do it this way because it spaces them all perfectly. Okay, now I'm going to cancel that, and the reason I'm going to cancel it is because I always save at this point. Because if anything goes wrong in the cutting, I've got it saved. Okay, card labels. It helps if you click in first. Save. Obviously it's a lot of image, it's a big file. I have heard the new version of Design Space, which is being rolled out at the moment, is quicker. It'll be interesting to see. It's going to start with a 6, I heard. This version I'm using is 5.14.79, but there is a new version on the way. It is just taking its time. There we go. Okay, so now I can go to make it. Continue. Now I'm going to send it to my printer first up. We can change the number of copies, we can leave the bleed on or off, and we can use the dialogue system. Okay, for this I'm going to do 2 copies. I might even make it 3 actually. Now whether I leave the bleed on here or not doesn't really matter because I've put the shape around it, but if I wanted it to cut exact around the shape, I would be leaving the bleed on because it just leaves just that little bit of minute edge so that you don't get white around it. So at this point it's not an issue. When I click on the dialogue system, I can go to print. The reason I'm clicking on dialogue system is because it's going to take me to my printer's preferences. Because I am doing that particular screen will look different depending on your print setup. But basically it does the same thing. It takes me to my preferences. I have it set to plain papers. I'm going to set it to Epson Glossy. Simply because it's a glossy clear label, and I'm going to set it to best photo to get my best image. Now once I click OK, I then have the option to click print. Now that's as simple as it is. Once it's printed, you load it onto your machine, onto your mat, sorry, and into the machine, and it will cut all those ovals. You can add foil at this point if you wish, or before you get to it there, you could foil on here, but you need to be careful that you keep the foil away from these black lines. The light in the machine reads those black lines to set it all up to cut exactly where it's supposed to. So you can also draw, you can foil, you can do those things, but you need to make sure that if you're foiling, that the foil, you can place the foil well clear of those marks. Okay, so that's it. I'm going off now to print those and cut them for my work. Hope you found this easy and that you give print and cut a go.